Have you ever wondered how a small, rainy island in the North Atlantic came to shape so much of the modern world? The story of England isn't a neat timeline of kings and queens. It's a sprawling, dramatic saga of survival, conflict, and constant reinvention. It's a conversation between power, people, faith, and ideas that has echoed for thousands of years. In this video, we're not just listing dates. We're diving into the living story of how England was forged and how its past continues to influence our present in ways we barely notice. Our story begins long before England even had a name. Imagine a prehistoric landscape shaped by ice ages, where Stone Age communities built monuments like Stonehenge. We still debate their exact purpose, but these ancient stones whisper of early societies with deep spiritual beliefs and a desire to make their mark on the world. Fast forward to 43 AD, the Roman legions arrive led by Emperor Claudius. But Britain wasn't an empty land. It was home to vibrant Celtic tribes with their own cultures and kings. The Romans didn't just conquer. They layered their world on top of what was already there. They built roads, towns, and introduced Roman law, connecting this remote island to a vast Mediterranean empire. For nearly 400 years, Britain was a Roman province, a source of resources and manpower for a global superpower. But empires don't last forever. In the early 5th century, as Rome's power crumbled, its legions withdrew. Britain didn't fall to a single swift invasion. It slowly unraveled. Trade dried up and local power fragmented. This created a vacuum, drawing in new peoples from across the North Sea, the Angles, the Saxons, and the Jutes. It's from the Angles that England, or Angleland, gets its name. These Anglo-Saxon newcomers didn't form a single nation. They established a patchwork of rival kingdoms like Wessex, Mercia, and Northumbria. They fought each other constantly, but were also loosely bound by a shared language and evolving laws. A powerful new force would unite them further: Christianity. The mission of St. Augustine in 597 linked England to the spiritual authority of Rome and a wider European intellectual tradition. Just as things were settling, a new terror appeared on the horizon. Starting in the late 8th century, Viking longships raided the coasts, burning monasteries and striking fear into communities. But this threat also forced the Anglo-Saxon kingdoms to unite. A legendary figure rose to the challenge: Alfred the Great, King of Wessex. He fought back against the Danes, but he also understood that survival wasn't just about battles. He promoted literacy and education, laying the foundation for a unified English identity. By the early 11th century, England was a wealthy and well-organized kingdom, making it a tempting prize. The year 1066 would change everything. In a single fateful year, William, the Duke of Normandy, crossed the Channel and defeated King Harold at the Battle of Hastings. This Norman conquest introduced a new French-speaking ruling class that would fundamentally reshape England's language, aristocracy, and architecture. The Normans were masters of control. They built imposing stone castles and commissioned the Domesday Book, an incredibly detailed survey of all the land and wealth in the kingdom. It was an administrative feat that revealed an obsession with order and control that would become a hallmark of English governance. Over the next few centuries, the power of the king grew, but it didn't go unchallenged. In 1215, a group of rebellious barons forced the unpopular King John to sign a document that would echo through history, the Magna Carta. It wasn't a blueprint for modern democracy. but it established a revolutionary principle that even the king was subject to the law. This idea would become a cornerstone of political thought around the globe. Medieval England was a turbulent place, defined by the constant power struggles between the crown, the church, and the nobility. It was scarred by wars with its neighbors in Wales, Scotland, and France. Then, in the mid-14th century, a catastrophe struck. The Black Death swept across the land, wiping out perhaps a third of the population. It was a horrific tragedy, but it also shattered the old feudal system. With so many dead, surviving laborers found they had new bargaining power, and the old social order began to crumble. This instability led to decades of civil war, known as the Wars of the Roses. The noble houses of Lancaster and York tore each other apart in their fight for the throne. This bloody conflict ultimately weakened the aristocracy and paved the way for a new dynasty, the Tudors. When Henry VII took the throne in 1485, he skillfully restored royal power and wealth. His son, Henry VIII, would unleash one of the most dramatic transformations in English history. Desperate for a male heir, he broke away from the Roman Catholic Church, not over theology, but over his desire to annul his marriage. He declared himself the supreme head of the new Church of England, dissolved the wealthy monasteries, and seized their land. This decision didn't just change religion. It reshaped politics, society, and the very landscape of the country. The reign of his daughter, Elizabeth I, is often called a golden age. It was a time of relative stability, a cultural explosion that gave us William Shakespeare, and a surge of national pride after the stunning defeat of the Spanish Armada in 1588. This victory announced England as a rival, as a major naval power. But beneath the surface, tensions were brewing over religion, money, and the limits of royal power. These tensions boiled over in the 17th century, leading to the English Civil Wars. The forces of Parliament fought against King Charles I, and in a move that shocked Europe, they won. The king was tried and executed in 1649. It was a powerful statement. No one, not even a monarch, was above the people's justice. England became a republic under Oliver Cromwell, but the experiment was short-lived. The monarchy was restored in 1660, but the balance of power had shifted for good. The Glorious Revolution of 1688 further cemented parliamentary supremacy and established a constitutional monarchy, a model that would inspire political systems worldwide. The 18th century saw England merge with Scotland to become Great Britain and transform into a global powerhouse. Fueled by trade, colonization, and the dawn of industry, London became the world's financial center. The Royal Navy protected a vast and growing overseas empire. Then came the Industrial Revolution. It remade society, pulling millions from the countryside into booming, overcrowded cities. It created unimaginable wealth, but also brutal working conditions, sparking debates about reform, rights, and responsibility that we're still having today. The 19th century was the peak of the British Empire. With England at its heart, its influence spanned the globe. At home, political power slowly expanded to more people through a series of reform acts, often in response to public pressure for a greater voice. The 20th century brought two devastating world wars. They drained the nation's resources and accelerated the end of empire. In the aftermath, decolonization changed Britain's place in the world, while the creation of the welfare state transformed life at home. Immigration from across the former empire and beyond reshaped society. creating the diverse, multicultural nation we see today. In recent years, deep debates about identity, the economy, and England's relationship with Europe have dominated, culminating in the decision to leave the European Union. This reflects a tension between sovereignty and interdependence that has been a theme throughout English history. So what does this whirlwind tour tell us? That there is no single, fixed England. It's a nation constantly remade by invasion and innovation, by conflict and compromise. It's a place where ancient traditions live alongside relentless change. The ideas forged in its centuries of struggle about law, liberty, and the relationship between the ruler and the ruled continue to shape institutions and assumptions across the world. And as we look back, we're reminded that history isn't just about kings, queens, and battles. It's about ordinary people navigating extraordinary times. Their legacy is not some dusty, distant story. It's a living force that continues to influence who we are and where we are all going. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this journey through time, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more.